Our sign screen in Tools, or e-signature screen really, is designed to be a one-stop shop for seeing all the documents you have out there for your clients to e-sign. This is where you can see the ones still pending and the ones that you've received. I should start this by saying that the e-signature tool is only available to TPS subscribers in the Ultimate plan. Of course, if you come over here to the client screen, click on a client, go down to Client Portal, and click the e-signatures tab, you can see this info for that specific client whose record you're in. And you can even send out documents for them to e-sign from there. But over on the actual Tools sign screen, you can see all of your e-signature situations here at once. As you can see, we have 4 columns here in front of us. We start out with the subject, so what it is you're waiting for or have already had signed. Then we have the completed column. If it was completed, you'll see a completed date in here. If it's blank, it's not completed, or at least not fully completed. The participants column shows you who you're waiting on the e-sign from. If you hover over that, you can see the participants and whether or not they've signed. So just for an example, this one here that says 4 participants, I hover over it. I can see there are 4 people. Well, in our training database here, you can see it's all Tom Dawson, but you can imagine these are 4 different participants. 2 of them have signed, the other 2 have not. And then we have our documents columns. You will see documents here if they have been signed, because then you are actually able to, as you can see when you hover over it, you can see the documents, more details on them, and you can actually download the document to your computer. So until the documents have been received back as signed, you won't be able to do that. These here that say no documents is because you're still waiting on those to be signed. Up here on the far right, we have our normal buttons that you see pretty much everywhere in TPS. We have the refresh, reload button. We have the items per page. You can change it to where you're seeing 10 or way more if you scroll down. Right now I have mine on 10. We have the show or hide columns. There are only 4 columns in here. Right now we're showing all of them, but if for some reason I wanted to take away the subject column, I can remove it there, add it back. And our print data grid button, if I click this, it would just download an Excel spreadsheet version of what you see here on the screen to your computer. And then we also have the create new envelope button. This is how you send out documents to be signed. So if I click on this, you can see that right now I have 2 options. In order to use DocuSign, or if we happen to add any other document signing services in the future, you would need to first integrate with them by coming over here to the, if you come under Tools all the way at the bottom where it says Integrations on your screen, go to Configure, and in here we get down to the Sign section, and you would need to integrate with the service that you have an account with already. So if you have a DocuSign account and would like to use that here in TPS software, you're able to do that. You just need to link them by integrating here. I'll go back to Sign, back to create a new envelope. So again, these are our 2 options. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this using our TPS software one, because as I said, you don't need to integrate with anything to use that option. So to get the ball rolling, you would click on TPS software. You can see it walks you through the steps. It's very easy to follow. The first one is to upload a document. When you click this, it will allow you to select a PDF from your computer. Here's the one I'm going to use. As you can see, it's called eSign Important Document Example, because this is a very important document that we need signed. So here it is. It opens up here. I have the options now with this little eyeball. I can see the details of that document, or I can actually cancel out of it if I want to here. But I want to continue with this, so I need to create a template. On this screen, you'll need to add how many people will need to sign it. You can either click the Add Signer button like this and do it manually, or if you wanted 10 signers, you can just click 10 and it would drop 10 signer slots here into your template. I want 2, so I'm going to click 2. I'll have signer 1, signer 2. Again, you can remove them using the little trash can icons here, but I want 2, so I'm going to keep them here. Once you have this sorted out, you would click Next. I should probably point out, as it says here, there's a maximum of 10 signers allowed. But I'm ready, so I'm going to click Next. And this is where I need to place the fields. So you get a little preview over here of your actual document. So this is the wording that I have on my document. Now is where I get to choose where I want these signatures to be. I can put spaces for a signature, initials, and or a date. Let's say that I would like signers 1 and 2 to both initial right here. So I'd make sure I have signer 1 highlighted, click on initial, and click where I want it to be. So let's say I want it right here after the first sentence. And you can see it may come out a little bit lopsided or kind of in the wrong spot. You can actually drag and drop it where you want it. So let's say I want it right here. And then I also want signer 2 to initial there. So same thing, I'll click on signer 2, click initial, and click the little plus sign and just drag it where I want it. Let's say I want them both to sign and date at the bottom. So I'll go to signer 1, click signature. I want his signature to be right here. And maybe I want the date right under that. Let's put it there. And signer 2, I want the signature right here to the right. And same thing, I want the date right under. So once I have that all sorted out exactly where I want their initials, signatures, dates, my fields are set, I would then click Next. This is where it asks me to choose a client. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my client, Audio King. And then it opens up space for each of the signers. I said I wanted 2, so now it's asking me to put in their details. Now, if you have these people set up as contacts, so on your contacts list, you can actually click in here and use a contact. You can see that the owner of Audio King I have as Richard Kronig. So I'm going to click here and it automatically puts in his first name, last name, and email based on what you have set up in the contacts. You don't have to use contacts. You can actually type in the first, last, and email if you want to. And then we have security options. So if you want them to have to authenticate via passcode, you can toggle that switch on and then enter a 4 to 6 digit passcode. I'll show you later what this looks like as I set one up for myself, but let's just say that we're going to go with the passcode 545454. You can also set up knowledge-based authentication, or KBA, for US residents only if you want to. That would require them to correctly answer questions before getting access to the document. I'm going to leave mine set as passcode authentication. Then down here you have a notes/message section, so a note to the recipient. I'm going to put in, "Hi Richard, this is the form we spoke about over the phone. Please sign and get back to me. Use the passcode I gave you over the phone." And we're set for Richard. Now, I'm going to put myself in here. I'm going to blur out my email here because the system we use to post our videos does not like real personal information in there, but I need you to see what the email looks like on the user's end. So my information is in there. I'll also set up the passcode authentication for me so I can show you how that works. I'll do the same passcode we just gave Richard. And let's go ahead and put in the same note, but let's put my name in there. And once we have that set up and you feel comfortable with sending it out, we can do that. You can see up here it does give you the option to change a client, so it's set up as Audio King, but if I made a mistake and just needed to change the client, I can do that here. And I'm going to go ahead and click Next. Here we're just reviewing and finalizing the envelope. We need to put a subject in here, which is like the name of the document. Remember, back on the sign screen, the first column is the subject column, so that's what we're putting in here. We're going to call this most important document because this is like the most important document. And sender name, I'll just put Chris P as my name in there. I need to double check all this is correct. This is everything that I want in there. Make sure all the initial spots, signature spots, and dates are where we want them. Everything looks good. We want to finalize this, so I need to click saying I confirm that I want to send this envelope. And when I'm ready, I'll click Send Envelope. Now you can see here on my list we have the most important document. It does not have a date in here yet. 2 participants, both are pending. No documents have been received so far. Now let's go see what your client sees when they receive the email. Okay, your client should receive an email that looks something like this. Action required for most important document. You can see it says TPS Software Inc. sent me a document to review and sign. Here's the note that you put in there. "Hi Christopher, this is the form we spoke about over the phone. Please sign and get back to me. Use the passcode I gave you over the phone." View document. I just have to acknowledge the e-signature disclosures and proceed. Now it's asking me for that passcode. We said it was 545454. I will submit, and here's my document. You'll notice that your client has the options with the drop-down menu to finish this later. They can decline to sign, they can print without signing, and they can download the document. Of course, they're totally willing to sign your document though, right? So let's go ahead, put in my initials. So click on the signature, sure, adopt and sign, and we'll put today's date. And all they have to do is click finish. It's just letting them know they can access this document at any time by going back to the original email that was sent to them. After all recipients have completed their actions, they will receive an email with the document and envelope certificate attached. Click OK. They still have the options now to print this or download the document. Back on the TPS software side, I'm going to refresh my screen, and you'll see that the most important document has 2 participants, but you can see that I have now signed it. We're still waiting on Richard. Richard's a slowpoke, but I took care of what I had to, and I signed it for them. You can see there's still no documents because, again, it won't come back as a document until both parties have signed, but that's how you see it there. And then if you were to come back to your client screen, I was using Client Audio King, so if I go to their client portal and look in e-signature tab, you can see that the most important document is right here. Don't worry about that important document. That's not the most important. That's just that important. This is most important, so we're talking about this one now. And you can see that same thing as on the other screen. There's 2 participants. We're still waiting on Richard. I, however, have signed, and no documents here. And I think that pretty much covers it for the tools sign screen. As you can see, the whole process is pretty simple. It's super secure. And DocuSign may be a little bit different if you were to use that service, but it's still pretty similar to the TPS way that I just showed you. Thank you so much for watching.